top Democrats. That would be Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries say they tried to set up a meeting with President Trump over the government shutdown, but he said no thanks. Meanwhile, furloughed federal workers are already planning for the worst. Nicole Killian visited a food bank near Washington, D.C., and she's got the latest. Nicole, good morning. What can you tell us?
Hey, good morning to you, Gayle. The Senate is expected to vote for the 12th time in 22 days on a measure to fund the government. And while the outcome may not be any different, many of the federal workers I spoke to are bracing for no paycheck at the end of this week.
We will not be extorted.
President Trump held firm as he hosted Senate Republicans in the White House Rose Garden Tuesday, later rejecting a request from Democrats for their own meeting.
I'd love to meet with them. I just want them to open up the country first.
Democracy is imperiled.
Senate Democrats held the floor late into the night to protest the Trump administration, while Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said the only way to end the impasse is to negotiate on the rising cost of health care.
The president should meet with us. It's not me, him, or anything political. It's that the people are in crisis.
What do you make of the fact that Congress still hasn't been able to resolve this?
It's ridiculous. You're playing with people's livelihoods. People got to pay rent, pay their, bills, utilities.
Melissa Westbrook, a 22-year employee at the Department of Defense, was one of hundreds of furloughed federal workers who lined up around the block at this Maryland food bank.
Look, chicken, drumsticks, pizza.
So did Sandra Wright, who has worked for the Department of Housing and Urban Development for 40 years.
Why did you decide to come here?
Just to stock up on food, because we're not going to be getting paid this coming week.
Where there's a need, we feed.
Pastor Oliver Carter helps run the food pantry and understands their plight.
My wife works for the federal government right now.
And she's
furloughed. And we got a check last week, a half a check, and this week is no check coming. So we should be in line too. But it's really great that we can help other people while we need help.
The government shutdown is now the second longest federal funding lapse in modern history. Now in its 25th day after 3 separate measures to pay essential workers failed to pass the Senate Thursday. The shutdown has led to a number of staffing shortages at air traffic control centers, resulting in delays and temporary ground stops at several airports. CBS News transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve shows us what this means for these critical members of America's aviation infrastructure.
This is the reality of life during the shutdown. A pay stub for an air traffic controller showing Tuesday's check will be for $0. It's why controller Jack Chris spends his days off driving DoorDash.
You're not getting a tip.
The single dad is trying to make some extra money to help cover the cost of his daughter's high school tuition.
How stressful is life right now with this shutdown?
Yeah, man. It's been incredibly difficult. You can feel the tension, and it's heavy, and it hurts.
As the government shutdown rolls into its 25th day, Congress remains unable to make a deal.
She tipped $2 this.
Chris says he's tapped his retirement funds and taken out a high-interest short-term loan to make sure he has the cash to weather a long shutdown.
From the standpoint of a single working dad, how is all of this impacting life at home?
That's a great question. It's hard enough just going to work. Now when you add in not getting paid, that's when you just multiply the level of pressure. Air traffic is a safety sensitive position. The margin of error is 0. So if you think about it, it's pressure on top of pressure when you don't know exactly when you'll get paid based on politics.
The Department of Transportation says it's continued to see an increased number of sick calls from controllers, leading to spotty staffing shortages.
Well, I don't want my air traffic controllers to take a second job, but they're having to make decisions about how they spend their time to make sure they put food on their table, feed their kids, and support their family members.
Hello, my name is Jack Chris.
Chris told his story to lawmakers at a televised town hall last week. DoorDash has since offered $10,000 to help with his daughter's education. Money he says, if it comes, will be a huge help, but may not be enough to give up his new side job. For CBS Saturday Morning, I'm Chris Van Cleve in Phoenix.